Imagine living a life unshaken by the storms that tear others apart. Picture a world where your mind is your fortress and no external force can breach its walls. This is not a fantasy. It is a way of life that the greatest minds of history have mastered. Welcome to Stoic Wisdoms, where we delve into the ancient practices that forged unbreakable men and women, revered through the ages for their inner strength and resilience. Today, we unveil the 4 high-status habits that command respect and admiration. Habits that empower you to rise above chaos, to control what you can, and to let go of what you cannot. Join us on this journey into the heart of Stoicism and discover how to become the master of your fate. In a world consumed by the relentless pursuit of external validation, there exists a rare breed of individuals who command respect, not by demanding it, but by embodying virtues that resonate deep within the human soul. These individuals are not born, they are crafted through a life of intentional discipline, unwavering self-control, and an unyielding commitment to fortitude. The ancient philosophy of Stoicism, practiced by the likes of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, offers us the blueprint to achieve this state of being. It teaches us how to rise above the petty concerns of everyday life and focus on what truly matters: cultivation of our inner selves. Today, we explore 4 high-status habits that not only elevate your character, but also inspire others to look up to you. These habits are rooted in the Stoic principles that have withstood the test of time. Today, we explore 4 high-status habits that not only elevate your character, but also inspire others to look up to you. These habits are rooted in the Stoic principles that have withstood the test of time, guiding countless individuals toward a life of purpose, clarity, and unshakable peace. Mastery over destructive emotions. How ridiculous and how strange to be surprised at anything which happens in life, wrote Marcus Aurelius in his Meditations. The first habit we must cultivate is the mastery over our emotions. Life is fraught with challenges, disappointments, and unforeseen calamities. Yet, it is not the events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Stoics understood that our emotions are the product of our perceptions, and by changing our perceptions, we can change our emotional responses. Imagine a ship caught in a violent storm. The waves crash against it, wind howls, and the rain pours down in torrents. But the ship remains afloat, guided by a skilled captain who knows how to navigate through the chaos. We are that ship, and our mind is the captain. The storm represents the external events of life, and the waves are our emotions. To let the storm control us is to surrender our fate to the whims of chance. But to take control of the ship is to steer our course, regardless of the tempest around us. Stoics teach us to view our emotions as signals, not as truth. Anger, fear, envy, these are destructive forces that cloud our judgment and lead us astray. To master them, we must first acknowledge their presence without being consumed by them. We must practice the art of detachment, observing our emotions from a distance and recognizing that they do not define us. As Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By mastering our emotions, we demonstrate an inner strength that others cannot help but admire. We become the calm within the storm, the steady hand that guides others through the tumult of life. This is the first step in becoming someone others look up to, a beacon of stability in a world of chaos. 2. Living by principles, not by popularity. In a society driven by trends, fads, and the ever-changing winds of public opinion, the true Stoic stands apart. They are guided not by the desire to be liked, but by the commitment to live according to principles that endure. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, reminds us that it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. This craving for more approval, more recognition, more admiration, leads us away from our true selves. To live by principles means to anchor your life in values that are timeless. Integrity, honesty, courage, these are the pillars upon which the Stoic builds their life. They do not compromise these values for the sake of expediency or popularity. Instead, they hold fast to them, even when it is difficult, even when it means standing alone. Consider the story of Cato the Younger, a Stoic statesman known for his unwavering integrity. In a time of political corruption and moral decay, Cato stood as a paragon of virtue. He refused to participate in the corruption that plagued Rome, even when it meant personal loss. His steadfastness earned him both respect and enmity, but it was his commitment to principle that made him a legend. When we live by principles, we become unshakable. We no longer seek the approval of others, for we know that true worth is found within. We become leaders by example, showing others that it is possible to live with honor and dignity in a world that often lacks both. Three, embracing the discipline of daily practice. The path to greatness is not a sprint, but a marathon. It requires daily practice, daily effort, and a daily commitment to self-improvement. The Stoics understood this, and they made the cultivation of virtue a daily exercise. We are what we repeatedly do. Aristotle famously said, "Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit." The discipline of daily practice is the third habit we must cultivate. This practice is not about grand gestures, but about small, consistent actions that lead to profound change over time. It is the daily meditation on one's thoughts and actions, the regular examination of one's life, and the continuous effort to align one's behavior with the Stoic principle. One of the most effective Stoic practices is the nightly review, technique recommended by Seneca. Before retiring to bed, the Stoic reflects on the day, asking themselves, "What did I do well? What could I have done better? What will I do differently tomorrow?" This simple habit of reflection helps to reinforce positive behaviors and correct negative ones. It is a way of holding oneself accountable, of ensuring that we are always moving forward on the path of self-improvement. Through daily practice, we build the muscle of discipline. We become masters of our own destiny, not through sheer force of will, through the steady, persistent application of effort. Others will see in us a level of dedication that is rare, commitment to excellence that inspires admiration and respect. 4. Cultivating the art of letting go. The final habit, perhaps the most difficult and yet the most liberating, is the art of letting go. He who is not a slave to riches, pleasure, or public opinion is truly free, said Epictetus. The Stoics believe that much of our suffering comes from our attachment to things outside our control. Possessions, our reputation, our relationships, even our own lives. To be truly free, we must learn to let go of these attachments. This does not mean we should not care about our loved ones or our responsibilities. Rather, it means we should not be enslaved by them. We must recognize that everything in life is transient, and that clinging to what is impermanent only leads to suffering. The Stoic practice of negative visualization, imagining the loss of the things we hold dear, is a powerful tool in this regard. It prepares us for the inevitable changes of life and teaches us to appreciate what we have while we have it. Letting go is not an act of resignation, but an act of courage. It is the willingness to face life with open hands, knowing that we cannot control what comes and goes, but we can control how we respond. When we cultivate the art of letting go, we free ourselves from the chains of desire and fear. We become light, unburdened by the weight of unnecessary attachments. This freedom is palpable, and others will sense it. They will see in us a person who is truly at peace, untroubled by the vicissitudes of life. Conclusion. In our pursuit of becoming individuals that others look up to, we must remember that the journey is not about gaining power, wealth, or status. It is about mastering ourselves, living with integrity, practicing discipline, and embracing freedom through detachment. These are the habits that define a Stoic, the habits that elevate us above the ordinary and make us a source of inspiration for those around us. Let us walk this path together, guided by the wisdom of the ancients, and become the masters of our fate. For it is in the cultivation of these virtues that we find true greatness, not in the eyes of others, but in the depths of our own souls.